So in anticipation of their upcoming Club World Cup semi-final against Bayern Munich, we've got another mad Al Ahly fan in the studio.
Coming out of the woodworks.
They're just everywhere. I mean, when they say they're one of the best supported clubs in the world, they really mean it. I mean, we've had great interest from Al Ahly fans. We've got another Al Ahly fan and fellow kit aficionado, Adham Gad, on with us today, taking us through a raft of Al Ahly kits, from the 2000s. Some really, really good ones in there. So stay tuned. We'll also look at the latest Umbro kits that they're wearing at the Club World Cup and for next season as well. So stay tuned. This episode is a fantastic one.
In all honesty, it's so funny because Ahly fans, they really know how to propagate the news, online, specific in the past 10 years. They've become, professionals with social media on all platforms. So they're everywhere.
They were flying the Bayern Munich plane, it seemed, right, the other day. I mean, there was that 7 hour delay, right? Like
7-hour delay, man. Exactly. That was an omen. Let's see what happens. Fingers crossed.
I wonder if they're flying Egypt Air or something, maybe
that would have been funny. So the thing is, Egyptians, we're 100+ million. So, and we're, football crazy. So, Salah goes to Roma, Roma, official accounts on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, it just jumps to like 70, 80 million, like in a week, like somebody goes, another player goes to another team. It's like, we follow these Egyptian players everywhere. And we just, give them like, I see a lot of comments where, people who don't understand Arabic be like, what are these guys doing here? And it's like, comments in Arabic just flooding feeds.
Trust me, I wouldn't want to be the social media admin of a club that signs an Egyptian. Or anyone from the sort of Middle East, like Iranians have had it, Egyptians have had it. You go to a club and immediately see them like AS Roma Arabic or like,
Exactly.
They've got to deal with it.
Exactly. They have to deal with it. Exactly.
Leave the official account alone.
I remember Chelsea, the admin at Chelsea had a meltdown when Salah first joined. I specifically remember that their comments were flooded. They didn't know what to do. They literally didn't know what to do. And then, lo and behold, a few days later, there's an Arabic channel.
It's all well and good if he's playing.
God, man.
If Salah is playing, then it's fine. If he doesn't play, then
oh my God, the wrath, the wrath of the Egyptian people. Oh my God! But look, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say thanks for joining us on the show.
Absolutely, I appreciate you guys having me. It's I'm a big fan. I love the show. By the way, I love the channel, and you guys, it's a nice thing you're doing. It's a nice thing you're doing. I wish you the best of luck. Absolutely.
No, thank you. It's good to have you here with us as well.
Thank you so much.
Ted told me a lot about you. He's told me about your kit collection. We're super excited to see as well. I've seen a few pictures behind the scenes, but love to see them in person. Then to get your thoughts as well on the latest kits as well that have come out for Al Ahly, courtesy of Umbro. We've got them here with us. I've got 2. Ted has got 1. So we'll probably get them out as well through the course of the episode.
That's perfect. Yes, I'm excited to be here, and Al Ahly. All Egyptian teams. I don't want to talk about the Middle East, but Egyptian teams in general. When it started off, early 2000, it was nearing the 100-year mark of the club's anniversary, or of the club being set up. So the spotlight started to come in. The marketing spotlight just started to creep up. Early 2000. So before that, Egypt was wearing, I don't know if it was branded jerseys. It was something called Venetia or something like that. I think it was a local brand in Egypt that was unknown, really cheap. And then 2001, I'm sure everybody knows about that. Real Madrid were invited to come and play in Cairo. It was like a celebratory match. That Ahly, had them go around the Giza pyramids for the whole day, just to tire them out in the summer sun, And mind you, this was the basic. This was the dream team, Real Madrid. So we're talking Zinedine Zidane, Roberto Carlos, Figo, the whole shebang. So they come in, and then Egypt just shows up with jerseys that have no brand, absolutely no brand. So that was I think someone, sat down and said, okay, we got to fix this. We got to fix this issue. And, starting 2002, there was a brief Nike. So there was a brief stint with Nike. And again, it was in a celebratory match with AS Roma, again with, Batistuta and Totti. You get these spotlights on these, celebratory matches. So the big companies start, coming in. But that was just maybe for that match. In all honesty, the local league at the time wasn't even, like I said, they were playing with this local brand called Venezia. I think if I tried looking for a picture to share with you guys, but I failed drastically. I couldn't find it's not there anymore. So starting 2003, they connected with Puma, and it's been a love story with Puma ever since. So Puma was at the time the brand manager for the Egyptian national team. I'm going to say something now that a lot of Zamalek fans are going to be angry and mad at me. So the Egyptian national team is comprised of like 80% Ahly players. So I think it was a match made in heaven. Having Puma and Puma. So Puma was the official jersey maker of Al Ahly team since 2003 during the first appearance in the Club World Cup. As we are right now, 2021. So Puma was kept going along. With Al Ahly until moving forward to 2008, 2009 when they split and they moved into Adidas, and that's when I actually started getting the jerseys myself and having them on me. So I'm ready to share. Whenever you're ready, just let me know. I'm good.
Amazing. Yeah, I'd love to see. You mentioned Adidas, so if you've got one that's from that brand, it'd be great if you could show it to us.
Absolutely. So this is the Adidas jersey that was worn. This is the one that was worn. I think it was 2009, 2010. That was around that time. So it was, as you can see, the fabric, the material of the jersey itself was a bit heavy. The Climacool and all that, all these technology materials weren't in market at the time. So as you can see, they had the classic three stripes. In all honesty, not really my favorite because the shoulder three stripes ended with like a sort of a weird curve. The fit was off. In all honesty, and it just it went up to the collar. There was no really attenuation on the collar around the neck.
The neck is really odd, actually. Yeah, looking at it now. That reminded the template from the 2010 World Cup, I think.
Yeah,
it was. A lot of teams
kind
wearing,
of.
Around then, like the high neck and the weird kind of cut off Adidas stripes. I think
absolutely.
Real Madrid had the same one.
Yes.
I think it's very popular at the time.
But it was one of these style fads because in all honesty you like sometimes want to wear these jerseys if you want to go out and out and about, but it just doesn't look good. In all honesty, it just looks weird even now. So it's just something that you can keep for history, one for the history books. But exactly. Right now, I have these jerseys in my wardrobe. If I'm gonna choose, I never go for this one.
How easy was it to get that? That looks pretty original to me. And you say that, they went from this kind of like no-name brand to Puma and then into Adidas. Like, was it quite easy in Egypt or where did you get that shirt from?
In all honesty, it was not easy at all. Back in the day, in that time in Egypt, 2000, early 2000s, mid 2000s, 2005, 2006, you would only get there weren't really a lot of these sports stores out there that are available right now. So you'd have to scout like an Adidas official store, and obviously they would be really scarce and rare, in stock. So crazily enough, ironically, you could buy them, outside of Egypt, easier than in Egypt. You know what I mean? From an Adidas store.
Oh wow! Is that because of the demand, or just because they didn't have they just didn't make enough?
They didn't make enough, and in all honesty, there was a huge bootleg, culture at the time where you can, you're at a traffic light and you're buying, it looks like this, it looks exactly like this. But for a fact it's not Adidas, you know what I mean? It's just an exact version, but the fabric would be different or whatever. So so I guess it wasn't really worth it at the time. It was just very, it just wasn't available, to be honest. It wasn't that easy, in all honesty.
Yeah. No, great. Well, I'm happy you got one.
Yeah, exactly. So moving on, they stuck with Adidas for a while, actually. So 2011, 2012, all up to 2014, they changed the design, thankfully, and they went with a more classic form, a classic model, where they brought back the collar. This is one of my favorites, in all honesty.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they added the stripes. So they added a stripe, dark red, bright red, dark red, bright red stripe.
Yeah.
And obviously there was a new sponsor. So this is Etisalat, opposed to Vodafone. And they added the collar with the white stripe on the collar. And that was, in all honesty, this is a perfect fit. It fits perfectly. I still wear this, up to this day. This is a 2010. Yeah, I think it was 2014. Yeah. So 2013, 2014 in the shirt. It's got they started introducing, the Al Ahly, on the back of the neck. This stuck around for quite a while. And, at the same time, Climacool, kicked in. So Climacool technology kicked in and, started becoming comfortable to wear. You really can wear it, going out. You can wear it while you're working out. It's one of my favorites, in all honesty. And, I have a lot of memories with this kit because this is the kit that, Abu Trek, just stopped playing at. So, his last game, with him, bowing and, waving to the crowds, he was wearing this kit. And, so it was, it's an amazing kit. It's one of my favorites, in all honesty.
It might be amazing memories. It might be a cool template, but why the green on this one?
Money, man. Money makes it work.
Make it consistent. Just change the Salat green to white, and then you've got. To me, that would be epic. That's the one thing is when even this one, kind of blue, white, and gold, and then black. You're like, why? I have it for when you just can't make the sponsor just fit a little bit.
I saw one of your past episodes. You said the same comment, and I couldn't agree with you more. These sponsors. I mean, it's always like a 50-50. Would they, change their branding, to go with the flow, or would they, actually force, their, unique sort of brand colors? So, that's the thing.
Depends on the branding department, right? I mean, Ted, the shirt you've got on the Al-Wasl Umbro, they've very nicely made gold logo to, match it, right?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
I rate that Ahly kit very highly. It's a great one. The only points I would knock off would be for the sponsor, but that's it's a minor detail because I know the sort of memories that are attached to that kit. If that was worn in Abu Treka's last game, then I mean,
And the thing is, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Adam, I found it odd that they've written Al Ahly on the back in English. Why didn't they do it in like a cursive Arabic or something? I think that would have been a nicer touch, Or
that
would
have been an amazing touch.
The Red Devils or Team of the Century or something like that, as their nickname. Just in Arabic, it would have been something different, That's
they started introducing that, and they actually trademarked the Club of the Century slogan to their emblem, so it's on all their branding right now. But you're absolutely right. Having it in Arabic, that would have been a great touch. And what, the Egyptian national team has that Masr in Arabic in that same area, and it's really nice. In all honesty, it's very unique, and I like it. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. You're right. You're right. I wanted to add. So when they introduced these, there wasn't. Okay, this is gonna sound funny. So I'm not sure, but I don't have any memories back in the day. Pre these kits that clubs in Egypt had. Home and away kits. In all honesty, I mean, they played with the same kits all the time. It was very rare. Ahly was red all the time in every game, in every match. You know what I mean? They rarely wore anything else. It was such a scarce moment. So with the introduction of these kits, they actually introduced the blue version of this. So exactly the same, the stripes, dark light, but in blue, with the same, with the same green, with the same green, sponsor thing. Exactly. So so this was the beginning. Actually, they started introducing these away kits, and it was very strangely blue. I mean, Ahly never wore blue ever, so it just started to adopt that blue color.
It's funny now when we look at the Umbro range that they've got in a little bit. There's actually 3 kits. A home and away and a third. So it's interesting that it took until 2014, 2013 for them to bring about 6 years later. They're catching up. So it's pretty good.
Exactly. So and then moving on, 2014, 2015, a new election board. A new board was elected in Al Ahly club. So these guys, Al Ahly has always been a one-handed culture, let's say. But you can never shake that. A new person comes in, he wants to show off, do something special, do something unique. So the new board came in, and they signed, like, I think at the time it was a record deal for sponsorship with one of these sports sponsorship companies, and they actually started their own brand, so Al Ahly Sporting Club brand called ASC, and they made like a whole like jersey, like their own brand. So it was Saudi Arabian made, surprisingly. At the time, Egypt and Saudi Arabia were pretty close. The ministries of sports and youth and all that. Yeah. So they had a lot of business deals going on. So ASC was started.
Pretty pioneer.
Absolutely.
Now you're speaking my language. I love and we've spoken about it before. I love the idea of kind of creating your own kit, especially if you're a club, having your own kind of bespoke, kit manufacturer, or like your own kind of kit brand. Yes. That you can kind of do anything with. I love
provided
that.
Provided you can do a good job.
That's exactly it. They did kind of pull it off, but I don't know why. In all honesty, there's I don't want to say a sad story, but they pulled it off for a few years, but then I'll show you. I mean, they just stopped doing it. I mean, they started their own brand. They were, they were setting up merchandise shops all over the country. So not just in Cairo and Alexandria, they were all over the place, and these babies were selling like hotcakes. So they really tackled the whole bootleg issue because they weren't that expensive. As your usual.
Yeah, I mean, so these must have been significantly more cheaper than an original Adidas shirt.
Exactly.
It happens in many countries with massive populations that a big percentage of the population simply just wouldn't be able to afford.
Yeah,
they're not going to go out and spend $400, maybe about $100 on an Adidas kit. They'd want the bootleg version. So, how much were they retailing the ASC ones for?
I think maybe like 150 pounds, LE, Egyptian pounds, 160, maybe 180. It depends. They had some grades, the replica ones, the really original ones, but that was it. I mean, right now, these Adidas ones or Umbros are pretty expensive, relatively speaking, in Egypt, especially with the inflation. So you're talking about, I don't know. It's a high number. So when you have that, this is back in 2014, 2015. It was very affordable, and they were opening up shops everywhere. It was really fun going to these shops, and buying keychains and caps and scarves. They really hit it on the nail, with the branding and marketing in that era. In all honesty, amazing. So this is the jersey they came up with the ASC. So basically what they did was they developed their own material technology called B-Dry. So it's sort of a climate cool, as it was. And here it is. So what they did is they brought back the classic, white collar.
That's
and as you can see, this is one of my favorites as well, in all honesty. So
the company, it looks good.
This is the logo, ASC. I don't know if that's clear enough. And obviously the emblem, as you see, it's just it was still 3 stars at the time. Just 30 plus leagues.
Yeah,
we added another 4th. Later.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see the eagle background as well. Like the sort of pattern in the background is super nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They had a pattern all over the shirt. They had a pattern all over front and back where it showed like it shined with the light. Even with the game, it's just a really nice shirt. Honestly, the pattern they had was very, very nice. And obviously in the back, they have the Ahly in gold. The Ahly in gold where it was just a nice shirt. Then
Adam, I like what they've done with the sleeve as well. You've got that little kind of red kind of tab. What is it?
Exactly.
Very nice.
So it's basically it's red, red on the top, and then you have the white all over, which is the same thing, and it's very, very comfortable. I mean, they created like I said, like a technology called B-Dry. So it's basically one of these, climate cool material technologies, and it's very light to wear, very, very, very venti, and it's very airy. It's nice. It's one of my favorites. I love it. And as you see, they went back to Vodafone, so white color, all good.
About Vodafone and Al Ahly, man. You know that's it just goes hand in hand.
Yes.
Here.
One of my favorite memories of this jersey was a Gabonian player, Malik Ivona, had just signed with Al Ahly, you know, that league season. And, you know, this guy was, he stayed with Ahly for just one season, and then he was signed off for like a record-breaking deal to China. So it was like a crazy business deal, you know, for Al Ahly. So this guy played, you know, Cairo Derby, Zamalek, middle of the pitch, him in this jersey, going all the way. He's got 3 Zamalek players around, couldn't do nothing all the way, just tick, score. So, yeah.
Wow.
So with this one.
Amazing. No, that's a stunning picture. Looking at it now, you know, on screen, it's incredible to look at. You can tell they put a lot of thought into that, you know, into the design elements, into the pattern, into the fabric and the logo.
Yes.
Like it's a good package, you know.
Yeah,
really,
absolutely.
Time on it, which is really encouraging.
Sometimes you have your basic designs, you know, Adidas or Nike designs that are, you know, nice and basic and standard. But, you know, specifically when that third dimension of, you know, patterns of, you know, like monochromatic or watermark patterns that come into the fabric, that just really elevates, you know, the visual aspect of all jerseys. I mean, we've seen the Nigerian jersey. We've seen all these jerseys that just, you know, introduce that pattern that just elevates the visual aspect for sure.
The one concern for me with sort of like self-made brands is always the quality of the fabric, right? The quality and the kind of breathable elements of the fabric. You know, you've seen a lot of brands try and sort of replicate it. Often it comes across as quite cheap, and then they sell the kit for quite cheap, so it kind of you know, cancels itself out there. But if what you're saying is true, if they've really developed a breathable fabric, I mean, that's a game changer there.
Yeah.
You know,
yes, absolutely.
And I'm really interested to know why this brand sort of didn't continue. You know, there must be 2 more shirts they did.
And I don't know. I might blame it. You know, it's the pharaonic civilization style we have. You know, any like pharaoh that comes in, he's gotta, you know, break the faces of, you know, the previous guy's face of the temples. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, it was a good thing going on, and in all honesty, they were actually building it up, and it was making waves. And then they just, you know, suddenly again. They, I mean, the next one. Let me show you. They had 2 more kits under the same brand, and then, you know, that board finished their 4 years, and then a new board was elected, and they just signed back to Umbro. You know what I mean? Switched to Umbro.
Okay.
Yeah.
So really, you know, if that's a tough act to follow. You know, if that was the first one they brought out.
Oh,
exactly. In all honesty, yes, they kind of messed up, to be honest, moving forward. So their next one was this one. So same brand, ASC. They introduced a heavier material, so not so breathable, in all honesty, but still, you know, technologically modified and breathable, but it was heavier. And here it is. They introduced a dark shade, so it was a darker red, but with like a darker shade down the middle. All the way from the neck down, just a darker shade vertically going down. Yeah. And so as you can see, even the collar, they minimized the collar. So just a small collar that like laid flat, like a sort of Chinese, you know, shirt.
Yeah.
With a white stripe. They kept the Ahly, you know, gold name on the neck and the back.
Yeah.
And basically it's so no real patterns, in all honesty. Darker red with that dark shade. They just maybe if you can see, they introduced the 72. Number below.
I was going to say, what does that symbolize? The 72.
So 2013, there was that you know, disaster that happened in Port Said when Ahly was playing Al Masri in the league. You know, and 74 actually, you know, souls were lost on that day after the, you know, ref called the match. It was a disaster, and actually, you know, the league was cancelled for the remaining of the year. And Egyptian football has never been the same, in all honesty, even up to today, 2021. You know, there was a time where you could, you know, have a banter, you know, make fun of the other team, you know, play around, troll, whatever. But, you know, when that happened, 2013, you know, when it reached, I mean, it wasn't like an accident. You know, people really rushed, you know, fans, and, you know, took their lives. So that was crazy. So ever since, you know, that number 74, 72 has always been like a like a symbol, for Al-Ahly. So they introduced it on the shirt.
96, that they've got now on the back of their jersey.
Exactly.
For the fans, it's like a similar tribute, I think.
Yes, exactly. It's really sad, when that happens, in the game where it's supposed to be like a fun thing to go to. I think with Liverpool it was an accident, like the stands actually collapsed.
No, it's a fitting tribute. I think it's nice that they've done that on the front of the shirt.
Exactly.
It's a bit more of a toned down effort.
Yes,
I'm not sure if I like the.
I'm not a fan, to be honest, of that kind of gradient down the middle.
Yeah. I don't know what it does for me. There's no sponsor either. Was that? Did you buy the sponsorless kit, or was there a sponsor that season?
So sponsor was still Vodafone at the time, but this is the sponsorless kit. Yeah, this was being sold without the sponsor.
I see.
Vodafone. They were back with Vodafone, and they stuck around with Vodafone until just recently, where they have that We. That's it's an Egyptian telecommunications company as well. So that's the one they're with right now. So as you can see, I completely agree with you. It's it's got like an elastic feel to it. You know what I mean? The material is just, I don't know, just too synthetic and heavy. Yeah. It's just a heavy shirt.
It looks super sticky.
And I'm not a fan. Yeah, absolutely, it is. And I'm not really a fan of that. Of that dark, that dark shade just looks really. It just doesn't work with with the. It looks like it's sweat. It looks like it's a sweaty patch. Automatically, you know what I mean? With the players running around, just walking in on the match, they haven't started playing and they're already sweaty, like extremely. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Patrick Vieira used to rub Vicks on his shirt. Was that a black? It reminds me of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
that was
the one before is a winner so far.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree. So the next year, I think it was 2017, they opted with the same brand. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to buy that one and have it on me. But exactly the same material, exactly the same, just clear, patternless brand. The only issue is the dark shade was not vertical; it was actually horizontal and towards the tummy. So that was really weird.
Oh, wow.
Very weird. So very weird. Same thing, no collar.
Yeah.
And that dark shade just around your tummy, like around your kirsch, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I don't blame you for not buying that one, honestly.
Exactly. In all honesty, it didn't really it wasn't very appealing.
Nobody with a kirsch bought that shirt.
Exactly. Which brings me back to, honestly, I mean, ASC brand, it was really something. I'm sure if they really researched more, had more designers just come in and develop the brand, it would have been a popper. In all honesty.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, sad to see it go. But I think after that, is that when they moved into the partnership with Umbro, or did they go into any other brand?
No, that was it. So after that horizontal one, in all honesty, they were going crazy, with regular, shirts, with jackets, trainers. They were really going crazy with the branding. But then, the new board was elected, and that old board, left. So the new board came in. It's a new old board, so it's basically the old gang coming back in. You know what I mean? So they signed up with Umbro, and that was the time they also signed René Weiler, the Swiss coach. So he came in, and obviously I don't know if coaches have a say with kits and kits design or kit signings, but I'm sure I had a feeling that he wasn't really happy with the local brand. I think he wanted like a more distinguished global brand. So they signed with Umbro, and they started off with it was a very fast decision. I don't think they really thought about it, because they got the simplest, most basic Umbro design. So that's the first one they got. It was I have one here, but unfortunately it's a replica. It's not the real one. I wasn't able to buy it. It was a gift, so I don't know if you'd like to see that one. It's basically, so this is just the basic one. So it's just the first basic one that they had. So basically it's an Umbro one with like a white collar. Just even the white collar. I mean, there's no collar, just the white ring around the neck. Very small, like a sort of pattern, on the shirt up and down. So there's like a sort of like a etchy pattern. And here you go. There's the We sponsor back again. and there's no Ahly in the back, so they threw that out. No more Ahly at the back. The sleeves are very basic, white rings around, and obviously around the shoulders there was that Umbro pattern around the shoulder braids. That was basically it. So this is the one. They just basically came in half season. It was a half season, and they signed up with this basic Umbro kit for the remainder of the half season. And that season we won the league, and we won the Champions League in Africa as well. But I mean, that same season we changed 3 kits actually, which is it's never happened before. so you start off with this kit, very basic kit, basic Umbro kit, and then they switched to the kit you had on, I think, in your previous episode. So more enhanced around the neck, more enhanced area, white area on the neck, still no collar, but white area, but with like a bigger V around that shoulder braid, the chest. This area, the chest area, and the elongated Umbro pattern on the shoulders, and Umbro patterns around the sleeves. That one. Yeah. So it was more. You can tell it was more finesser. It was more finesse to it. There was more attenuation on these small detail elements. And then when we won the Champions League, they changed again. This is really recently. Same exact kit, but instead of the white colors, it turned into gold. So it's red and gold. So that's the one they're playing with right now. But I think with the ones in the World Cup, they switched to the white ones again. I think they that one. Right. Yep, it's that one. That's the one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite a big fan of this, to be honest. I like the subtle eagle that you see in the background.
Yes, like a single eagle watermark. Yes.
It's customized for them, which is nice. Yes. The sort of story around the 9 is very interesting as well.
Oh yes.
Given like that. But
of course, I mean,
something to contribute to the 9 titles.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie. It's a bit of a strange fit when you wear it. I mean, the neck is quite a high one in comparison to the other Umbro efforts that we've seen. But it's still a nice looking shirt. I mean, they put a lot of effort into it with the gold sleeves here. Nothing on the back of the neck. So I think Ahly's truly gone.
Yes.
Back, but there is over here Club of the Century.
Let me zoom in on that. There you go.
You got the 4 stars and the 9 small. So the 4 stars, the 4 big stars are 4 times 10, so 40 plus. So it's 42 leagues at the moment, and the 9 small stars are the 9 Champions Leagues Al Ahly has won, and that's a record. In Africa, record break. No club has come close to 9 Champions Leagues. So Zamalek's gonna hate me.
It's fine. You can talk about it all you want.
The thing is, it was so funny because Al Ahly and Zamalek, it's just the never-ending rivalry going on. So when that final, final of the century was going on, Ahly Zamalek, there was like two trending hashtags in Arabic was Yalla Ittasa, which means let's go 9th, and Yalla Isetsa, let's go 6th. They were looking for the 6th, so it was just trending, and then when the 9th came out, that just went all the way down.
Well, it was some emphatic fashion that you won the 9th Champions League in. So, I mean, what, 86th minute or something? So
and 85-54, that stamp, that time stamp is just everywhere. I mean, and funnily enough, it was on beIN Sports, and the Arabic commentator Assam Shawali, he has a lot of slangs and phrases that just catch on. And the funny thing is, at that specific moment, he was just saying Al-Qadiyya Mumkin. So Qadiyya Mumkin means the knockout is apparent. The knockout is apparent. He said it like 3-4 times, escalating with that goal. It just stuck. I mean, right now, if you say Al-Qadiyya Mumkin to any Egyptian, he'll just either smile or frown. Like it's got to wait now.
No, it was an incredible final. I mean, I remember seeing it. The goal at the end and everything like that. An all Egyptian final as well, which was good advert for the game.
Never in history. First time in history.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, first time in history the two teams reached the final of the Champions League from the same country in Africa.
And a derby match as well. Not
man.
The two teams.
Yes.
Proper derby.
And mind you, I gotta be honest right now. I owe it to you guys, and in all honesty, I mean, it was a very tactical game, and Zamalek really did put in a lot of effort, and they were a lot closer, and they had a lot of possession.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's the scoreboard. I mean, hard luck for them. The goal went in, and here we are. living on that legacy now for the 3-4 months that followed. And maybe more. What I mean. So
you've had with that win the ability to qualify for another Club World Cup.
Yeah.
We saw them. We saw Al Ahly. I got the second half, and the second half was kind of a dull affair. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I think you guys just closed out the game, but it was a solid 1-0 win. Yeah. And as we predicted prior to the game, they were going to be in their away strip, which is the grey,
one. Yes,
the grey and gold effort that Ted has right here.
Yes. Initially, when I saw that, initially when I saw that, grey, it didn't really. It's just like when I saw the Liverpool's grey away kit, with the checkers, it grows on you. Initially, you might not really warm up to it, but after some time, it does grow on you. I like the patterns on the sleeves. I like the golden infusion. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. To be honest, like you said, I wasn't really like a fan when I initially saw it, but then wearing it, it's very comfortable. I love what they've done with the badge here. It's kind of like it's embossed, so this really nice kind of embossing, which is smart. It's got Club of the Century on there as well, and of course all the stars, the 4 at the top, the 9. It's got the big star at the bottom. I don't know, just kind of it works. It works on so many levels. The neck is quite comfortable actually. I've never owned a kit that has a neck like this, that just kind of cuts across there. But it's nice. It's nice. I like it.
Just like Dar was mentioning, this kit, this neck opening must feel a lot comfortable than the previous one where you said it was really closed up all the way.
It's the complete opposite. All 3 of the Ahly kits this year have a different neck. I'll show you the third kit, which I have here. Look at this one. I mean, it's a complete rounded collar.
Round collar, yes.
The home one which rides up. You've got the away one, which is really unique.
It's relaxed.
And then this. I've never really seen that much of a spectrum in collars on a range of kits. But if I had to choose out of the 3, this has grown on me so much.
Yeah, that would be my favorite too, to be honest. Yeah, I just
nice.
The way that the pattern kind of comes in. I like that. I like the crew neck collar that it has.
Yeah. Very nice. It goes from a pink into a darker red.
There's a fade going down. Yes.
Really nice.
I like that. In all honesty, it looks like a training shirt. I mean, I haven't seen them play. They haven't played with it yet, so this is brand new still. They haven't played with this kit yet. So it's you'd think it's a training shirt. They'll walk in, pre-match shooting around. But in all honesty, it's a cool shirt. I'd wear that and go out. I'd wear that and go out.
Yeah. My only reservation again is consistent colors, right?
Okay.
White sponsor, gold logo, and then the Ahly logo. Whereas what you had, Ted, was all black.
All black.
Yes.
If you look at the home kit, it's all white.
Yeah.
With the Ahly logo. So I guess I don't know what they would have done here with that. Either go gold and gold.
Well, I think white
stood out.
They would have gone white. White would have been, I think, more balanced visually, and maybe kept the emblem as it is, because there's red in the jersey, so maybe it would work.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a bold design. It's the nicest. I've not tried on the one that Ted has, but compared to the home shirt, this is more comfortable for me to wear. As a fan, it's more comfortable to wear. And it's just a lovely bit of color. I like it, and it's a effort. So, I was quite pleased with this one.
It's really nice. I think they are sold in the UAE at the moment. I thought you guys mentioned they were sort of sold online at the moment. I think so. With the Club World Cup, I'm sure they're sold out everywhere. In reality.
Absolutely. So Umbro have just dropped their official sort of partnership on this with Namshi.
Okay.
You can buy all the shirts from namshi.com. They had a nice kit launch on the Umbro Middle East Instagram account. They're available from Namshi. There's the Umbro shop in Dubai over in the Al Jude Center in Al Quoz. So I know they have stock over there. But the Namshi partnership was a pretty good idea. It kind of expands the base of who can buy this.
Oh, absolutely.
fairly reasonably priced as well. I mean, they're not up there with what you'd pay for an Adidas kit or a Nike kit. They're significantly more affordable.
The quality's decent. The quality's super nice. Yeah,
I was quite pleased with that. The quality was pretty epic. So, having these kits, and it was good timing with them going to the Club World Cup, and we've done these episodes now, and I'm getting to be a bit of a convert. I'm following all the passion, and the away thing. I never thought my Thursday night would be spent at home watching them against Al Duhail.
I know, exactly.
So
the build up to that match, everybody was, people were a bit worried because going into these tournaments, you don't want to really, you always have to respect whoever you're playing with, whether it's Auckland from New Zealand or Hyundai, Korean Hyundai, whatever. So because back in 2003 when we went into the World Cup, everybody was saying who's this club from Africa, and then we ended up becoming third. When we really did it was a great tournament for us. So I remember going into the Hail, that first half was pretty. It was nice. I mean, it was enjoyable to see that Ahly possess and play well, score that goal, and just keep a balanced game. But then the second half came on, and you can just see the sheer difference, from like an African club, like and a Gulf, really like business oriented club, brought out the big guns, these like signings, and it was, I was glad that we were able to like hold it down, and like you said, just a solid 1-0, just pass safely, and just basically let's see what happens tomorrow.
Well, I was going to say, just watching the crowd got really into it. I mean, it felt like it was a home game for Ahly, to be honest, more than it would have for the Hail. But tomorrow is the big test, correct. Right? So what are your predictions
absolutely.
For tomorrow?
I'll be honest with you. We played Bayern Munich actually. I think it was 8 or 9 years ago. I'm not sure when it was, but Neuer was the goalkeeper, and Gomez was up front, attacking, and Podolski. These guys were playing, and what happened was it was a tight game, and ironically enough, it was a friendly game in Qatar. So it was in Qatar as well, but it was just Ahly and Bayern Munich, and it was a friendly game, and it was 1-0 Bayern for like 30 minutes. We equalized. 1-1, and then they won last 5 minutes. It was a pretty balanced game. In all honesty, right now, them being one of the best teams in the world, and champions of Europe, great individual players. It makes sense to think that they have the upper hand. But just having that that eagle on my heart, I just feel like we might do something tomorrow. I'm thinking 2-1. I have a feeling it's gonna end 2-1 for Al Ahly. We're gonna look like equalize again and maybe win, grab a winner towards the end. I think so.
Well, hopefully they do, and this clip goes viral, and you become like the next sensation.
I mean, the thing is, Ahly's going in with no pressure. That's the thing. Our advantage, we have no pressure. We're already like champions back home. Everybody's happy. Everybody's just looking forward to the game. Nobody has like crazy expectations. I mean, people have hope. People are dreaming, but not really crazy expectations. They're happy where we have reached. It's a semi-final, so there's still another game. Even if we lose tomorrow, which I hope we do, but there's another game for the 3rd and 4th. So that in itself is another record, for a club from Africa to make it, 3rd or 4th. So mind you, this is our 6th appearance, in the Club World Cup. So that as well, I think the only club that has more appearances is Auckland City from New Zealand, and they're just in Oceania, they're on their own, they're always there every year, every tournament. They're just so yeah. I mean, I just hope they do something tomorrow, and we're just dreaming. Let's keep on dreaming. Never give up. It's a last T-shirt. Never give up. You never know.
Well, we'll be watching intently. It's going to be a fascinating game. Really, really pleased to see them at the stage they're at in the Club World Cup, and we really wish them the best against Bayern. Adham, it's been an absolute pleasure, having you on with us. Love that trip.
Appreciate it, guys.
The stories that you had, Adidas, Puma, the ASC brand, really, really fascinating stuff. Really loved getting that insight. and then obviously looking at the kits that they've got now. So, you know, again, our minds have just been opened up to Al Ahly once more. You know, I think it's fast becoming the club for us. You know, so we'll be watching tomorrow and passionately goes on.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys having me, and I enjoyed talking to you guys. And really, let's go Ahly tomorrow. Let's see what happens.